So we were asked to leave, didn't want us filming the other one, plus the prices were just terrible. So we're at another thrift store right now. We're gonna see if we can't do something better, but that last one, they had $5 plushes, $10 dirty plushes. It was just terrible. Everything apparently from that Goodwill goes to their auction site, anything good. So that one's pretty much totally dead. Okay, so we're at a Goodwill. You can see Goodwill right there. I've got the wife over there and obviously my youngest in the back. Don't go to thrift stores very much, but we're gonna hop in and just see what we can get. We're out, we're about, and we just happen to go by it, so here we are. So this first Goodwill here, I usually check the video games and things along that line first. What I find most of the time is about half of the video games that are in this store have been stolen, is just the case out there. Almost every time I come here. Even the winter jackets in this one were so limited. All of the nice ones are online, and they're trying to get top dollar out of them. They keep shortening it. This store also buys pallets, it looks like, because they always have NOS open packages and things like that all the time. I don't know how they do it, what the deal is with it, but this one is in Michigan. Maybe there's something different here, but this one always has that. I'll always find brand new toys, things that are on clearance in other stores or have dinged up packages mostly. So I really think they're in the pallet business. Everything of value, even individual glasses, are sold online from the way it looks. There is absolutely nothing hardly in this entire store. I found one single solitary thing in this entire store after looking through it for about 45 minutes. I took 2+ trips through the store and nothing. Nothing at all. I mean, I dug through everything. They had some razors, NOS. Just everything in there was priced at or above what I could pretty much sell it for. There's nothing. I mean, literally nothing. I was just so surprised. I haven't been here in a little while, and this is why I don't go to thrift stores very often. I'm usually lucky enough to find a few things, but literally, even the stuff that I thought, oh, wow, I found something, the name brand was off or it was damaged. I just can't see how they can sell too much stuff to keep these stores open if this is the way they're doing it. If everything good goes online and they're all only worried about these smaller size stores. There's been 2 Goodwills in our area that downsized to almost half the size they used to be. Even the mugs, there wasn't even a good mug in here, which was kind of odd. I mean, I looked everywhere in here trying to find something that I could sell, and just no luck no matter what I did, other than one single item. Other than that, it was a total waste of an hour's worth of my time. So we were asked to leave, didn't want us filming the other one, plus the prices were just terrible. So we're at another thrift store right now. We're gonna see if we can't do something better, but that last one, they had $5 plushes, $10 dirty plushes. It was just terrible. Everything apparently from that Goodwill goes to their auction site, anything good. So that one's pretty much totally dead. This other thrift store here is about the same as the other one. This one at least had some 45s, but it does look like they were picked through as well. I found one that was even worth looking into. The rest of these were all pretty much junk. There's a King right here by Tiny Bradshaw, and that was literally it on the records. Every other one in here was just junk. There was no country, no rock, no R&B, not even disco in here. So they're pulling all of these out and sending them elsewhere for all the stores in my area. Now, just a few years ago, I couldn't walk into one of these stores without seeing a couple other resellers. They were packed with people. Nowadays, I pretty much have free run of the stores because no one's going there hardly anymore. None of the resellers are, at least in my area. Again, this is my area. Your area may be totally different, but here, there isn't anything. Even the classical records, which most people leave behind, they were sorted through too. There was only records that were scratched or had some major issue with them left. Even something that no one would really look for. Every area in all three of the stores we went to this day looked picked through. All the CDs, DVDs, everything. Even VHS tapes. There wasn't anything that didn't look like it was picked through. Now, I've had better results in the store in the past, much better. But now, they've even eliminated whole categories in this store. A lot of the stuff that I saw before is gone. There's empty spots all over the place. It wasn't like this. So they must have had a whole bunch of stuff to start with, and now they've whittled it down to almost nothing, it seems like. The only things in here were like board games that were all missing pieces, and at the price they wanted full price for them. Even like these bins I found stuff in before, there's nothing in the stores in my area. So that's another reason why I don't source like everybody else. Garage sales in my area can be okay, but it's just not worth my time to drive around and hope I get something. It's more my time than anything else that I'm wasting doing stuff like this. We were out, we were just having some fun. We had our son with us in the whole works. So I like sourcing and I like just looking around at the thrift stores, but it was just depressing to see that there was nothing here. Now, this has been a trend since eBay has been a thing. We've been noticing this for 15 plus years, long before YouTube even was in the picture, but this is what we get with this. Now, I thought I found a 8mm projector, so maybe I could have had at least something. It even says right on the inside when I took it off, somebody had a sticker that says "do not work." This one says "does not work" on it also. So this is a Bolex, which would have been worth $150 had it worked, and it's just not even worth me messing around. They're trying to sell a non-working 8mm projector for $50. Who's going to buy a piece of electronics that doesn't work? Who knows what's wrong with it? It's just crazy, the prices that they're putting on stuff these days. Okay, another Goodwill. Back at it again. Prices on every single thing we saw has been horrendously awful. So one more look. This is the third stop, and nothing here. We are going to end it. Now, this store, in the shortest amount of time, I was asked to turn off the camera very quickly, so I only got about 4 or 5 minutes before somebody confronted me. And I was being very secretive and actually took off the hand grip and everything so I could just hold the GoPro itself. Again, nothing here. Even the CDs. I was trying to scan some CDs because we do still send used CDs into Amazon, but no avail on it. Everyone, just like the records, this again is a Goodwill, so everything in the store has been picked through. Everything. Even just junky electronics, it looks like they pulled through. I couldn't find a single deck of cards anymore, not a single remote, nothing like that. Even winter coats, again, are not in the store. In the heart of winter, no winter coats in the store, which is really crazy. Again, they're online. They're selling their winter coats online for the most max money on it. Again, toys, most of the toys had something wrong with it, at least the ones that were worth money, especially the board games. We went to 3 different thrift stores, spent about 3.5 hours. Didn't do very well at all. This is one of the very reasons why I don't source at thrift stores. I barely even go to garage sales these days. I just can't find good stuff at thrift stores. Haven't been able to in my area for probably 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer than that. It's been a steady progression as Goodwills around here started to switch over how they do things. Now, we went to 2 Goodwills and then another newer thrift store that's sponsored by I can't remember the service, but it's it's a religious sponsored one. They've got a couple other ones. It's not like it's a one-off though. And the Goodwills all are pulling all of their stuff to go to online auctions themselves. There was nothing really in the store. Out of the 3.5 hours, I got 3 items, literally 1 item at each store. And I'm a pretty darn good sourcer. Now compare that to my flea market haul video from just a couple days ago. It's a 2-parter. There's 2 videos to it. I got 87 different lots worth of stuff that I could sell. So it's a huge difference, and that's the main reason why I don't source at thrift stores and haven't for quite a few years. I'm not saying you can't score on thrift stores and stuff. It depends on your thrift store. My thrift stores here in the Ohio, Michigan area are terrible for people like me. It's been going on for a very long time. I know people say, hey, it's YouTube and it's this and it's that. Most of what I sell, you won't find at a thrift store. And even some of the newer stuff, I don't find there anyway. I search other places. There's so much better places to search than thrift stores. But the gist of it is, this has been going on, trending, since eBay has been a thing. Just the mere fact that eBay is there, there's people that just do that. 15, 20 years ago, we could go to a thrift store every day of the week and crank out that stuff. YouTube wasn't even around back then, and the thrift stores started to jack up the price over the 2 years when I lived in Virginia and that area there. That's what happened then. Florida, the same thing. When we were in Florida, they were jacking up the prices then. Now online auctions are here, and boom, that's what happens. I don't see anything changing that aspect other than speeding it up maybe with YouTube. That's about all that would happen, because these companies are smart enough to realize that resellers are coming in there, whether there's a video telling them or not. Now, you guys saw the video too, so I'll show you the items that I got. Now, I had to turn the camera off. I was instructed to in the first Goodwill and as well as in the second Goodwill. So Goodwill is not very happy with people coming in there and filming. Fine, turn it off. But anyway, so I don't have much footage from the thrift stores. Now, the first item I got is from a Michigan thrift store that's shown in the video. Now, I paid $6 for it, as you can see. This is a handmade, it's actually rather cute. It's like a felt animal set, and they're all mice. For $6, it has all kinds of stuff with it. They're felt, handmade, and there's actually markings on some of them. Little mice, they're like Christmas mice and stuff. There's even little Christmas trees. Now, these are like the aniline or something like that, the 1940s, 50s style, and some of them are marked. So, and it's made by Mouse Hole Workshop, and it's Brooks, Maine. Now, I've seen a few pieces over the last 10 or so years from these guys, this company. They sell okay. They're handmade. They're cute little items here. So, you know, anyway, it's a decent lot for $6. There's even Santa Claus mouse in here too. So, you know, I think this is going to get me about, say, $40 or $50. This is Ebenezer Scrooge. I would take it, this one here. There's quite a few mice in here, as you see. Most of the main characters. 2, 3. There's a little one. Is that what that is? 4. Little tiny. Here's Tiny Tim. Again, I'm probably going to put like $57.50 on it. Stuff like this does well. It's all handmade from what it looks like. It's a little playhouse. It's got a handle. $6, you know, I figure I can't go wrong on something like that. That's the best thing I got today, in all honesty. $6 purchase. Going to make about $40. So I paid for my gas and a couple of dollars, if at the most. Now, this is the Pie Man from the 1980s. I think this one came out in 80 or so. Strawberry Shortcake action figure toy line. I've had him, I don't know, a couple dozen times over the years. He used to show up a lot more back in the day. He is missing his mustache there. I got him for 39 cents or 35 cents or something like that. So now for that kind of money, I figured I can't lose. I've got the little Strawberry Shortcake dolls that go with it too, including Strawberry Shortcake and some of the other ones. So I'm just going to put this in a lot with those figures. So for that kind of money, whether he's missing the mustache or he's missing, I think he had a cat that he's missing as well, I'm not worried. It will help add to it. And for that kind of money, who cares? Then I got this here too. This is the commissioning of the USS Abraham Lincoln in 1989. This is a U.S. aircraft carrier, as you can see. These are not super scarce. I've had many of them. I'll probably get $15 or $20 for it, in all honesty. Maybe a little more if somebody's on who was on the ship at this time and just didn't get the book. But that's literally all I got in that 3.5 time frame. One of the Goodwills has actually cut down the size of the store almost in half, because they're sending so much stuff now to their own site or own auctions as well. So most of the stuff goes there, so they don't need these large footprints. They did open a new Goodwill, same story, same material. Everything is filtered out before it gets to the store. So if you're going to Goodwill in my area, everything has been filtered through, even the records. The only records in the store were really terrible ones that just aren't going to sell. There wasn't a single solitary rock record in that store. No blues, no jazz. There wasn't even really any standard country classics in there either. So all that was there was pretty much children's and junk records. So everything is online. I've looked at their site. I've seen it. They sell all that good stuff on the site. And in some cases, people pay more for it from Goodwill on their site than they could get the exact same thing on eBay. So, you know, maybe it's charity-wise they're doing it. Maybe it's personal collectors doing it. I don't know. But the point of it is that the auction site, from what I see, from the stuff that I sell, it would be pointless for me to ever buy it, you know, from them. Or maybe it's other people thinking they're going to make a lot of money off of purchasing off of Goodwill. I don't know, but I've looked at it many, many, many times thinking maybe these are flukes. But every time I look, it's the same results, that all the items sell for more than they would on eBay or somewhere else. But that's the real point of this. I can't make money here in my town, my area, without driving an hour and a half probably to a thrift store that's really good. There are some little thrift stores that will net me some decent items, but they're one-offs, two-offs. If I'm lucky on these places, maybe the best day of the week, I might get a little stack of something for a few bucks. And that's not enough to sustain my business. So that's why we've moved to many other options. I've talked about them. Estate sales are pretty good. Flea markets are pretty good. Local live auctions are always good. I have pickers, so people call me as well, too. Now, I know there's people that can still make money in thrift stores, but for what I got today, if I'm lucky, my profits are going to be about 30 bucks at the very, very most. And it's just not worth it for me at all to do that. Now, I could have went to some other ones probably and maybe sought out some better stuff, but I'm looking at the time frame here. I got 3.5 hours in today. That's all I got is 30 bucks. You know, it's not even 10 bucks an hour in return on my investment. Now, like when I go to a flea market, though, the return on that investment is like $1,000 plus profit after everything's said and done. It's a no-brainer for me. Now, I wish there was good thrift stores because I love going to thrift stores, but they just don't exist in my area anymore. Now, if thrift stores are great in the area, that's awesome. It's just not that way here. I have no secondary sourcing like thrift stores like other people do. So I've sought out the bizarre, the weird, out-of-the-box sourcing locations, stuff that you just wouldn't think about. And with the last Goodwill we went to, we all just gave up because the clothes smelled, they were dirty and grimy. It was just awful. Most everything there, even some of the electronics, had an awful smell to them. You know, it didn't look like the clothes were mostly washed. You know, there was a tie there that if it was a little better, I could have possibly purchased that, but the smell of it alone deterred me. I thought they used to wash the clothes. I don't know what their standpoint is, but that store was most definitely not washing or doing anything else other than bringing in the clothes and throwing them on hangers. I didn't want to touch much in the store other than this is all I got at that last one. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gives you some thoughts on this, some ideas. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Many people think it's quite worthwhile to go just a little bit out of their way to get certified lead-free Amoco gasoline. You expect more from American, and you get it. The American Oil Company.